Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be on challenges in employment law, workplace harassment policies. My name is Sadhna Chauhan and I am going to present on this topic. So let's begin with the video. To to know about this topic, let's get into a little introductory. A report says that women who speak up about harassment taking place at the workplace are considered to be troublemakers. In the case of Vishakha, Supreme Court ruled that sexual harassment at workplace is violative of fundamental rights. There are laws dealing with the scenario of harassment at workplace, but the problem of implementation is one of challenges faced by the people at workplace. Moving to our next slide, let's understand what is workplace harassment. So to understand workplace harassment, we shall know that we can say that when an employee or employees feel threatened at the workplace, it can amount to harassment. Harassment taking place at workplace is commonly taking place, but yet it is unspoken. Most people are not aware about the concept. There are many harassment taking place. Sexual harassment is one of the well-known concept, but there are also other type of harassment which takes place. They can be verbal, physical, psychological, cyberbullying, discrimination, sexual harassment. So let's understand what is verbal harassment. Now, verbal harassment is making a derogatory remark on someone or some kind of offensive gestures and unjustified criticism, including insults such as fat shaming, body shaming, jokes, hurtful comments, and unwelcome taunts, making it difficult to identify at times. Coming to our next point, it is physical harassment. Now, what is physical harassment? Instances of such harassment involve inappropriate touching of clothing or skin, physical attacks, threats, or destruction of personal property. Even without causing severe physical harm, these actions can still be classified as physical harassment. Coming to our third kind of harassment, it is psychological harassment. This describes behavior that manipulate or weaken an individual's emotion or mental health, such as continual criticism, isolation, psychological intimidation, or threats related to job security. Now, fourth is a cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is also one of the well-known kind of harassment. Cyberbullying, we can say that cyberbullying includes threatening employees unfairly due to their gender, race, religion, or other protected traits through an online medium. Coming to our fifth point, it is discrimination. Discrimination is also kind of harassment at workplace. Workplace discrimination occurs when individuals are threatened unfairly or unequally based on factors like gender, race, religion, age, disability, or other protected attributes. And the last kind of harassment that takes place at workplace is obviously the last one, sexual harassment. Sexual harassment at workplace means unwanted sexual behavior like advances or comments that make someone feel uncomfortable or threatened. So this is the types of harassment that often take place at workplace, but yet this is not spoken about, and many people are also not aware of about the stuff called harassment, that this can also amount to harassment. Moving to our next slide, let's understand a little bit about the laws that take place that in India deal with workplace harassment. India has quoted many laws to deal with harassment happening at workplace, such as first is Indian Penal Code. Section 509 deals with acts intended to insult a woman's modesty, including mental harassment. IPC allows victims to seek justice in case of workplace harassment. The section that I just read, 509, it deals with the acts intended to insult a woman's modesty, including mental harassment. It allows individual to seek legal resources against harassment. Victims can also file complaints with the police under related provisions such as section 354. 354 is for outraging the modesty. 354A, it is for sexual harassment, and 375. 375 is dealing with the rape. Coming to our next act, the POSH Act. The full form of POSH Act is the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. This act was implemented in 2013. The act requires employers to set up internal complaint committees and define sexual harassment. It establishes procedures for filing complaints, aims to prevent sexual harassment in the workplace, and mandates regular awareness training program. Sorry, it establishes procedures for filing complaints, aim to prevent sexual harassment in the workplace, and mandates regular awareness training for employees. Employers must also draft a POSH policy outlining their commitment to addressing and preventing sexual harassment. Compliances with the POSH Act is a legal requirement. Moving to our next act, it is the labor's law. It is not an act, it is a comprise of many acts, and we can say it labor laws. Workplace harassment in India is addressed by several labor laws beside the sexual harassment of women at workplace, that is the POSH Act. This also includes IPC, then the Equal Remuneration Act 1976, which talks about prohibiting pay discrimination, and the last is Factories Act 1948, which ensures workplace safety and welfare, which indirectly tackles harassment issues. The last act that I have covered is the Information Technology Act, which deals with workplace harassment. The Information Technology Act helps prevent workplace harassment by addressing cyberbullying and online harassment, it provides legal sources for victims and regulating electronic communication and data security. Apart from this laws also, there are many laws which apparently exist for workplace harassment, but I haven't covered it. So India has several laws to deal with harassment. It provides protection to the victims, but due to the unawareness of the employees and many other reasons, it becomes challenging. The points are discussed after the slide, as in what kind of challenges are faced by the employees. Moving to our next slide, challenges in employment law. The Vishaka Guidelines and the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act play a crucial role in raising awareness and providing a framework to tackle workplace sexual harassment. However, enhancing their effectiveness requires ensuring well-functioning internal complaints committees, offering adequate supports to victims, and fostering a culture of zero tolerance towards harassment. So, the first challenge that is faced is confusion between forms of harassment. Employees often struggle to differentiate between sexual harassment and other forms of harassment, leading to confusion of employers when handling complaints. This confusion arises due to lack of clarity about harassment definition and fear of stigma or relation associated with reporting sexual harassment. Immediate steps include informing complainants of their rights under the law and advising them to submit complaints to the internal committee. Employers must convey their commitment to safety, assure confidentiality, and protect against retaliation. A deeper analysis of organizational culture is essential to foster an open communication environment, ultimately preventing retaliation fears. Additionally, evaluating the effectiveness of POSH training may address the issue of reluctance of report incident. The second challenge faced is laws are not gender neutral. Workplace harassment laws in India are not gender neutral, primarily focusing on the protection of women. These laws, such as sexual harassment of women at workplace, primarily addresses harassment against women, lacking specific provisions for addressing harassment against men or other identities. The third challenge that is faced is lack of provision for anonymous complaints. While POSH Act requires complaints to be submitted in writing and does not mandate addressing anonymous complaints, overlooking them can perpetuate harassment. Fear of retaliation often prevents victims from coming forward, highlighting the need for a more open workplace culture and repeated assurance from the employees. Although anonymous complaints pose legal challenges, they can still be investigated and treated as disciplinary issues to ensure a safer workplace environment in alignment with the Act's objective. Moving to our next slide is the fourth challenge that is faced, that are unclear laws and terms. The ambiguity of harassment laws and the terms makes it challenging to implement them effectively in the workplace. Unclear definition and legal terminology leads to inconsistency in enforcement and difficulty in recognizing and addressing harassment instances. This uncertainty can also discourage victims from reporting incidents and hinder the development of prevention strategies. The last challenge that I have covered is unavailability of evidence. Gathering evidence for sexual harassment cases is difficult as the behavior often occurs in private, making witnesses scared. Moreover, the absence of standard of proof in sexual harassment laws add complexity to the evidence process. So these are the challenges that are faced to implement the employment laws, due to which there is a lack of protection of against harassment happening at workplace. So I would like to conclude the video. Um, to conclude, I would say that addressing workplace harassment in India entails overcoming various challenges, including confusion between different forms of harassment, gender neutrality concerns, lack of provision for anonymous complaints, unclear laws and terms, and difficulties in gathering evidences. Efforts to combat these challenges require enhancing awareness, fostering a supportive workplace culture, and continuously evaluating and refining legal frameworks and procedures for effective prevention and redressal of harassment incidents. So, this was the video on the topic of challenges faced in employment law because of workplace harassment. So, thank you.